Hello YouTube, this is Corbin22 here, back with another 100-point Squadron build for Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. Today we go back to the Rebel faction, and I've done another swarm build with the Rebel Alliance, consisting of 4 A-Wings and an X-Wing fighter. This one I'm probably going to call, I'm gonna call this the Rebel version of the Swarm and the Elite build. Because what we got here is we've got 4 A-Wings, one of them piloted by Jake Farrell, and the other 3 piloted by prototype pilots. And then we have a lone X-Wing piloted by a Red Squadron pilot. And, as you can see, the Red Squadron pilots back in the day were considered the best pilots of the Rebel Alliance. And Jake Farrell was the first ever X-Wing pilot to test fly the RZ-1 A-Wing interceptor prototypes. And then he later became flight instructors for those pilots that were willing to test their luck in the A-Wing. So, yeah, so we've got heads the Swarm here and the Elite. So, that being said, let's look at the build itself. It's a bit of a complex build. I've separated them like this because the A-Wings are mostly going to be staying in a squat together, while the X-Wing is going to be off kind of providing support from different angles of attack. So let's get right to it. We'll start with the squadron leader of the A-Wing, the prototype group. And he is piloted by Jake Farrell. He has a pilot skill of 7. He flies the RZ-1 A-Wing Interceptor. There we go. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 2, and a shield value of 2. He can take on the focus, lock-on, boost, and evade actions. Costs 24 squadron points. And is able to take on an elite pilot skill and a missile upgrade. His ability states, after you perform a focus or assign a focus token, you may perform a free boost or barrel roll action. So, yeah, I've mentioned before that Jake is really good if you give him a focus. That basically allows him to take 2 actions. So it kind of gives him like a push the limit sort of thing. But he has to do a focus action before he gets that free boost or barrel. And the barrel is not part of his action bar, so that gives you even more options to trip up your opponent or get into a better position to attack. He has the most upgrades of this build. We'll start with his title card. And that is the A-Wing Test Pilot. It states, your upgrade bar gains 1 additional Elite Pilot skill upgrade icon. You cannot equip 2 of the same Elite Pilot skill upgrade cards. And you cannot equip this card if your pilot skill value is 1 or lower. So this would not be good for a prototype pilot, but anything that's a Green Squadron pilot or above, they can put on this you can put on their car, and that lets them have 2. Either it gets them 2 elite pilot skills if you're a Green Squadron pilot, Jake Farrell, or Tycho Selchu, or if you're Gemar Sojan or Arvel Crinid, then you get that 1 elite pilot skill that you're lacking. And then for his modification, I've chosen to give him a shield upgrade, which increases his shield value by 1. So that means the A-Wing now has attack value 2, agility value 3, a hull value 2, shield value 3. So basically, he now with the shield upgrade, he has the reverse stats of the X-Wing, so to speak. And for his actual upgrades, his first elite pilot skill, I have gone with Outmaneuver. And Outmaneuver, hang on, come on. Outmaneuver states, when attacking a ship inside your firing arc, if you are not inside that ship's firing arc, you reduce its agility value by 1 to a minimum of 0. So like I said before, Outmaneuver turns your ship into a bomber and heavy assault killer. Because it lowers their agility value to 0. And most heavy ships and bombers only have agility values of 1 or 2. So yeah. Bomber killers. And now for his second elite pilot skill, I have chosen Swarm Tactics. I could have gone with Squadron Leader, but Swarm Tactics was a better alternative for me in the long run. Because Squadron Leader, it requires you to take a free action, but Swarm Tactics is a passive ability, so I won't have to worry about that. So Swarm Tactics states, at the start of the combat phase, choose one friendly ship at range 1. Until the end of this phase, treat the chosen ship as if its pilot skill were equal to your pilot skill. So Swarm Tactics, he'll be able to treat one of his wingmates, be it one of the prototype pilots or the Red Squadron pilot, as the same pilot skill, so they'll be able to attack at the same time. And then for his missile, I've chosen to give him Proton rockets. They have an attack value of 2, can only be used at range 1, and they state Attack Focus. Discard this card to perform this attack. You may roll up to 3. You may roll additional attack dice equal to your agility value up to a maximum of 3. So the proton rockets are perfect for ships like the A-wing, because their base attack value goes up depending on how high their agility value is, up to 3 dice maximum. And the A-wing has an agility value of 3, so that means that makes their base attack plus the agility value makes it so that you can roll 5 attack dice. Sure, you have to be at range 1 to use it, but the A-wing is an interceptor, and getting up close won't be much of an issue. Now I move on to his wingmates. They're all pretty much the same ship, so I'll just go over one of them each. And they are all prototype pilots. They have pilot skills of 1. They also fly the RZ-1 A-wing interceptor. They also have an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, hull value 2, shield value 2. They can take on the focus, lock-on boost, and evade actions, cost 17 squadron points, and are able to take on a missile upgrade. They have no abilities because they're common pilots. And let's see here. And then of course, I've outfitted them with upgrades to help better ensure their survivability. Starting with a shield upgrade, which increased their shield value by 1, so now they have 2-3-2-3 on their stats. And they've all been outfitted with Chardaan refits to decrease their squadron point cost. So they now cost a total of 15 without their shield upgrades. So Chardaan refit plus prototype makes for a good choice if you want to swarm with A-wings. Now I move on to the lone wolf of the build, and that is the Red Squadron pilot. He has a pilot skill of 4. He flies the Incom T-65 X-Wing. He has an attack value of 3, an agility value of 2, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 2. He can take on the focus and lock-on actions, cost 23 squadron points. He's able to take on a warhead upgrade and an astromech upgrade. Again, he's a common pilot, so there are no abilities for him. And for his single upgrade, I've just given him standard issue Proton Torpedoes, which have an attack value of 4. They can be used at range 2 to 3, and they state, spend your target lock and discard this card to perform this attack. You may change one of your focus results to a critical result. So, pretty standard issue. It treats one of your focuses as a critical, which makes it hard to counter. And yeah, that's all I could give him, because this without the X-Wing and the Proton Torpedoes, the build totaled to about 73 points. So I had enough for 1 extra ship, and I decided to just go with the standard X-Wing because, you know, got 4 speedsters, might as well balance it out with an all-arounder. So yeah, this is my Rebel Swarm and Elite build. Advantages: all of the A-Wings, they're going to be working as a unit. The X-Wing will be working as the lone wolf. All of the X-Wing, or all the A-Wings have been outfitted to help increase their survivability. They're also incredibly fast, and they have lots of green maneuvers, so getting rid of the stress if they do K-turns or run through a debris field won't be much of an issue. The Swarm Tactics and Outmaneuver is a good combo for Jake, because Outmaneuver will ensure that he gets outside the enemy's firing arc, and then Swarm Tactics, if any of his wingmen follow, they'll get the same pilot skill, which allows them to attack simultaneously. Well, one of them anyway. And then, of course, the Red Squadron pilot is good for attacking at a distance because of the Proton Torpedoes, and he has a higher attack value and higher hull value, so again, lasting survivability. Weaknesses: even with their upgrades, the A-Wings and X-Wing are still very fragile ships. 5 hits total is what they can take, and in theory, I could have given the A-Wings missiles, but I want to go for a swarm build, and well, in all honesty, I probably could have given Garvin Dreas instead of a Red Squadron pilot, and just not given him the torpedoes. Whatever, lesson learned. I'll do it for that could be an alternative build in case you decide to do that. So anyway, yeah, this is my Elite, my Rebel Swarm and Elite build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. If you like, you may use this build for any competitive or casual play, or if you wish, you may tweak it or revamp it to your own specifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corbin22, signing off.